Hello everyone, I'm Esther and I bring you today a tutorial on how to guide you through your Estellios base avatar files, how to upload them to VRChat and how to do a small customization as well. So what we need first is to download a couple assets. First we need to download Unity. We need to use the Unity that VRChat is currently using for uploads. At the time of the video, it would be the 2019.4.31 F1. Then you need to go to the VRChat website, log in, and then go to downloads and download the VRChat Creator Companion, as well as this tool called Pumpkin's Avatar Tools. All of these links I have included in the description of the video as well as in the avatars files themselves. Some of them have the files, some of them have the links. So for now, this is what we need to download. So once you have installed Unity, if you have never done that before, and then the VRChat Creator Companion, what you want to do is open the Creator Companion. You want to create a new project. You're gonna choose VRChat avatars like this, and then you're gonna hit create. I already created mine for the video, which is this one. So if we go to the manage project, the one thing that it would be useful if you add into the project would be this one, a gesture manager. So just go ahead and click the most recent version and then add it. And then once that is added, you can open the project. Okay. Once your project has been opened, it should be looking something like this. We're gonna go to the folder where your avatar's files are located at. Uh, Depending on the version that you chose, the files might be a little bit different, but it should be the same for the most part. So we're gonna use the one with the close for the video, but again, it's the same thing for all of them, it's fine. So we're gonna go to the Unity files, and this is what you should have there. The Pumpkin avatar tool, we should already have downloaded it, but I always included the link there. And as for the shader and Google Loco, you do have the files here. So you're gonna open the shader and you're gonna import it into a project. You can just double click with the project open, or you can drag it to the assets. It should start importing it. And after that's done, you're gonna go to the Google Loco one and do the same thing. Here's the credits for the Google Loco. You're gonna want to do the same thing for this one. So once that is imported, now lastly we're gonna import our cartridge files. So again, you just double click with your Unity project open, or you can drag them, or you can always go to File. Sorry, you can always go to Assets and Import Package, Custom Package, and then you import it. Once all of that has been imported into the project, which should be very much done in order to start customizing. So you're gonna go to Estefanato's avatars and then Estellios Dragon, and here you should basically see a lot of the folders that are included. Some things might change a little bit, but it should remain the same for the most part. So if you just want to start by uploading your own copy of Estellios without doing anything to them, you can always do that. So there's two different versions of the avatars. There's one that has a randomizer, which is a feature that uses a lot of the meshes, and the meshes need to be separated in order for it to work. So it's not the most optimized version, but it does turn out to be really fun because you can use the randomizer to just generate different dragons in game. Or you can just go to the simpler version that doesn't have the randomizer. Um, Whichever you choose, it should be very much the same in order to upload it. So let's say that we choose the one that doesn't include the randomizer. So we're gonna open one of these scenes. They all have the character. So it should just pop up in the screen like this. So in order to upload it, you just go to VRChat SDK, show control panel, and then you go down here where it says build and publish for Windows, and it should start. You need to give it a few moments. It should start like loading in and all that. Now it does say that this one is currently very poor, because if we go back and view open, you'll see that it still has all of those meshes. Some of them are just hidden. When they are like grayed out like this, it just means that the mesh is hidden, but it's still in the model. So for example, if I show this one off by going to the inspector and I click, there you go, it should appear. Obviously the big ears are covering, so I'm gonna choose the ears, I'm gonna uncheck them, and then you see the smaller one. But this doesn't mean that it's not going to affect the performance. It is still there, it's just hidden. So what you can do if you want to get rid of some things right away within Unity, we can duplicate this. We're gonna hide the original one so it doesn't bother us. And we need to do right click, unpack. Otherwise it won't let you delete the meshes you don't want. You can start by selecting all of the meshes that you don't want to use and just click delete. Or you can always do here and then delete. You can start deleting everything you don't want. The fishbones, I wouldn't touch them personally because I already have them all set up and you don't want to lose all the information, so I would keep them there. So if you go again to VRChat SDK, show control panel, okay, you see that instead of being very poor, it just became poor because we have deleted the meshes that we're not going to be using. Again, you can just go ahead and click on build and publish for Windows and should have it in your game. Now, for the randomizer one, if we go back here and again we click one of the scenes, we don't need to save it. You might notice that, well, the character has lost some of the features, or they're like hidden. Uh, that is the way that it's supposed to look like when the randomizer is being used, because that's the way that I set it up. If you unhide anything else on the model right now, then it might mess up with the randomizer, and it might make it so that it doesn't work as well. So this version of the character, you can always customize it as well, but I do recommend to use the ones that don't have randomizer in order if you want to make your own character, given the nature again of the randomizer. But for this one, again, you just need to go and SDK and go ahead and upload it. And when you upload it and you see it in the game, it should actually get back some of the things that are hidden over here, like on the default state. And then the last one would be the examples, which again is just like a small compilation. I might add more later of a few like different examples, and included a few of the skins that I have included already in the package. You can customize any of that because I do include the Substance Painter files as well as Photoshop. So you can basically customize every single thing you want. But here's just a few examples. These ones do not use the randomizer. Again, the randomizer one is the one that I showed previously. That is like the one that doesn't have, because it also randomizes the skins that I put for default. So all of the other ones. Another thing how you can tell if it's the one that doesn't have the randomizer. If you scroll down on the inspector, you'll see that this one's here, the menus, it says simple, which is, like it says, is the one that does not include the randomizer and is a little bit more optimized, which is the menu that you preferably want to use if you do customize and make your own version of Estellios. We'll get back to that in a moment. So, with that being said, we're gonna go. Oh, there's also prefabs, which again it is the same types like with the randomizer and with the ones that have no randomizer. In case you want to use the prefabs instead of the scenes, but it should be good regardless. So, in order to customize it, we're gonna go ahead and open the Blender file. Depending on the one that you purchased, again, it might include the clothing, it might not. So, as soon as you open your Blender file, you should see something like this. It should be the dragon with every single one of the meshes toggled on. Again, just for an easy customization so that you can just very easily whatever thing that you see that you don't want it to happen to have, you can either hide it or just delete it. I recommend to maybe delete it so that it, Blender doesn't export all the meshes by accident, because that sometimes happens. So for example, we're gonna start by customizing some of this one. So we're gonna click all of the things that we don't want, and we can click delete to delete them. Or you can always go here and click on delete. So let's say that you don't want some of these things to be on your dragon. That you don't want that or that. Um, so you can remove anything you want. Obviously, the more you remove, the more optimized it will be. But it's not that you need to keep it optimized. It's more of an alternative, um, in case you feel like, oops, that you want to keep it optimized. Okay. I would not touch any of the bones personally, unless you really need to. Um, but I would make sure to keep the names of the bones the way that they are currently are. So after you deleted everything that you don't want on your character in order to customize it, you're gonna go ahead and click on the body, then hold shift and click on the last one of the meshes, and then Control and J, as which stands for join. That way it will join all of the meshes at once like this. So you have all the things at once. Another thing you could do, if you don't want to join everything. Let's say that, for example, I don't want to join the clothes. So I would start by selecting all the pieces of the clothes that you have, and I would like hide them by clicking the little like eye icon here. And then we do the same. Go to the body, then to the last one, Control J. And now it has joined the body, but the pieces of clothes that we hid before are still intact. That way you can also toggle them on and off in Unity if you want. So now that we have our dragon, we're gonna go ahead and export it. Clicking File, Export, FBX. One moment. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead to FBX, and I already have a test here, so we can do another one. It's fine. Here too. The only thing you need to keep in mind is when you go scroll down here to armature, uncheck add leaf bones, because I do not use to any of my models, and I have been known that if you leave it on, it could cause some issues. So just uncheck that and then export it. Once you have exported that, another thing to keep in mind is that the way that I set up my Substance Painter files, the character's Substance Painter looks like this, for example. You do not need to recolor everything. Like, you can always just leave the parts that you don't want to use on your dragon, but do make sure to check like all of like the different materials that it has, as well as some of the layers that are hidden, because there are a couple patterns that I included that are like hidden away. So for example, here on the tummy, we're gonna hide some of, let me see, so this, okay, that one hides the tummy, and then there's another one that says this. So for example, there's that, and then there's a version that has the lines. The one's called belly lines. There's also one that's just as round. So it's not a lot of them, but some of them are hidden like this. Like that one, for example, is another gradient, or like the pink snout has that. So do make sure to check out some of the layers. The Photoshop files have the exact same layers, and some of them are hidden like this as well. So do make sure to check on them in case there's something that you might be looking for. It might actually be included within the files. So let me go ahead and close that. Okay, our dragon has exported now. So we're gonna go quickly back to our Unity. go to model. I usually put all my models on the model find just to keep things organized. Go to FBX, and here's the one that we just exported. We're gonna drag it to the project. It does take a moment. Okay, so here's our dragon. What we're gonna do is a little bit of the setup for the import. So we're gonna click model and then legacy blend shape normals. Then rig should be humanoid. And then click apply. Okay, let's go to configure. Let's not save it, that's fine. And the only few things that we're gonna do on this window is fix the feet, because it usually happens because of the fact that it has extra toe bones. So, but that is like very easy to fix. So first, we're going to get rid of the toes. You can click on where it says none, or you can do double click and then delete like that, because it usually does not need the toes. So make sure to remove that. And then on the head, we're gonna remove the jaw, and everything else should stay as is. To fix the twisted feet, we're gonna go to pose, sample bind pose, and then pose again and enforce pose. There you go. That should do it. So let's do apply. And then done. Okay, so we're done with that. Now, our dragon is here. Oh yeah, and the last thing would be the materials. You can use, if you create your own materials, you could go ahead and put them here. I have included a few different materials already of the different like dragons that you can also customize them if you want. I'm gonna use the default one for this. And they all have the same name. So as long as you don't change their names, they should stay like this. So bat wings there, body 2, body 2, then it doesn't have the feather wings because we would remove them. Have fins, then hair horns, and the piece of clothes, if you have them, should be on the materials under clothes. This one should be here. Okay, now click apply. Remember to click apply, otherwise it won't do the changes. Okay, perfect. Now let's go back to the models where we have our model. Let's just drag and drop it into the scenes hierarchy like that. Okay, we can always just move it to the side so that it's not clipping through one of the other ones. So here we have our nearly well uh, our very own dragon. So now we need to copy the properties that this one has. Like for example, if you click on just the character, you'll see that has all of the fist bones, like colliders, stuff like that. We need to copy that into our new dragon so that it can do all this stuff. And for that we're gonna use this little tool, the pumpkin tool that we downloaded earlier. We go to avatar tools. Okay. We're gonna select here where it says avatar. We're gonna select ours and we're gonna drag it here. So, okay. And we're gonna scroll down here on the tool. We're gonna scroll down here where it says copy component. We're gonna take the ones for, it can be any of these dragons, but I'm gonna use the original one because I know that's the one that has the most stuff. It's the Estellios 6, at least in this case it is. I'm gonna drag it here. Okay. And now it should be like this the first time you use it. So we're gonna remove a couple things like prefabs. skin mesh renders and mesh renders. We want it to copy everything else that this one has to our new dragon. So we're gonna leave it like this. We're gonna scroll down and then copy selected. Oh, one moment, something's going on. Hmm. It appears that there's something happening. Hmm. Well, that is very strange because it says no dynamic bones, even though the avatar doesn't have dynamic bones. Not found. Yeah, that should be fine. Well, if it if it was working just fine, then it should be. Let me try with a different dragon. 1 second. Let's see. Perhaps this one. Oh, I'm kind of silly. Okay, never mind. It did do the transfer. I just didn't realize that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and drag the dragon that I wanted and then copy again. And okay, there you go. Yes. It can be a little bit laggy because of the amount of fist bones that the dragon has, but that should be normal. It kind of depends on the kind of computer that you have. Okay, so if you click on your new dragon after doing the copying, you should go ahead and notice that it already has like all the stuff set up like this, all of it. And go ahead and hide all of them. If we go to tools and then gesture manager that I told you to put on your project earlier, it should, well, I already have one, but here, tools, gesture, it should have that. So when you click on it and you click on play, just give it like a few seconds and it should start like basically playing the scene as if your character was already in VRChat. So go to game, you can like test like the physics like that. You can like move a couple of them. Well, just like a couple of them whenever they want to grab them. So, and if you grab your character like this, let's hide the thing, and you move it, you see that it should already have all of the fist bones already on it after that copy that we made. Okay, so technically speaking, it should be ready to upload to VRChat, your character. So let's see what happens. The first time you're gonna upload a new imported model like this, it's gonna tell you a couple things. This one you can just hit on autofix. And this one, the stream map maps, I usually uncheck it, so just click select and uncheck it like this. There you go. Again, depending on the amount of things that you put on your avatar, it may or may not become very poor. You can do a bit more of optimization if you know the proper tools on Blender. But for now, there you go. It should very much be like the last step, and now you can go where it says build and publish to Windows and just give it some time, and then it should publish the avatar for you. Another thing to note that I forgot to say earlier is if you click on the body or any of these ones really, but let's click the body of your character and you open blend shapes like that, um, you should be able to see all of the different like blend shapes. These ones are like things that modify the polygons on the character. You can also customize your character a little bit using these ones. Like you can try moving some sliders around to see what happens. Do keep in mind that if you have clothes and you like edit out one of these ones, you need to go click on the clothes and click on the same blade shape for the clothes so that the character it won't be clipping through the clothes like that. So um yeah, that is very much the introduction of how to deal with Estellios. You can customize a lot more things. You can change the animations. You can change the textures using Photoshop or Substance. Um, but at least as far as the avatar itself and the Unity work, um, well, you're very much set up. Like I said before, I will include all of the links that I mentioned in this video on the description as well as on the page of the avatar itself. And if you do have any questions or if something went wrong with the upload, I will do my best to try and help all of you. But do keep in mind that if you don't have really experience with Unity, that it might be a little bit complicated, but you can always ask for your friends for help or someone who can give you a hand if that was the case. But yeah, so I do hope that you enjoy using my base, and I can't wait to see what you all create with it. So do have a good night, good day, take care, and I'll see you all another time then. Goodbye.